What is up guys, Major here, and today we're just going to be talking about, let me pop it on the screen quickly. As you saw the title of the video, I actually just want to go through some of these and sort of what it means for the future of Outerplane as well, something you guys might want to expect, as well as a lot with regards to our summons and our resources and how we're going to handle those and all of that. Alright, so what we're going to be doing again, as I mentioned, is going through the update that we're going to be getting next week, basically end of August. So they are on track with their roadmap. It's just better late than never. So as you can see, as I'm scrolling through this, we have two new units that are coming into the game at the same time, which is Aste. A lot of you guys should have seen this already. I'm a bit behind, but also this is not a review on the heroes that are coming out. I actually want to talk about something more specific with regards to the summons and summon currency and all of that other stuff. We have the healer type, which is the Aste healer type. We can even pop in here quickly. As you can see, she is just phenomenal, man. She is just, and she's an image to behold. Yo, she's just great, man. She's just great. I mean, the assets. Am I right? Right. So we have her. She's fantastic. We can even just look at the what is this here? The video of her herself. Let's go ahead and enjoy this. As you can see right there, she seems to have some kind of revive or resurrect, single target anyway. Buff or buffed cleanse. It looks like a buffed cleanse. Who knows? Like a debuffed cleanse, something like that. Fantastic, fantastic. And then we have her counterpart, which is the whole thing that inspired this video, is the new boss Demiurge Este. Right, so another Demiurge unit, who is also another premium unit. Very, very interesting. She is a dark mage. If you didn't, on the top one, she's also a fire healer. So a dark mage, which is the Este, Demiurge Este. Can't zoom on this one, unfortunately, but as you can see, she looks phenomenal. She just looks fantastic. You can see it there as well. She looks great. We can just go ahead and look at the video of her as well. Oof. Okay. Can't wait for the full HD version of these videos. Epic, phenomenal, man. I absolutely think that is just an amazing unit. Now, here comes my thoughts. Okay, I don't really care about this. This is a skin, you guys can get it in the battle pass section. It's just whatever, that's whatever. This is where we're going to be spending a nice little chunk of our time and our discussion. Today we're just going to be going through a quick guide on summon and summon resource management and where I think the meta is going in the near future and what I think you guys should do when it comes to your summon resources, right? So we can start at the beginning. What is summon resource management first and foremost, right? No matter how long you've been playing the game, a day one player, a new player to the game, whether you've played other gacha games as well, you know a lot about summon currency and its scarcity. Now, summon resource management is understanding how to use your resources that you have in the game, that the game gives you as well, to summon in the most efficient way possible. It's not about doing things, going all out and going crazy with it or going deep into a banner. No, it's about being efficient and getting the most value out of your resources, right? In this game and every other game, they have certain thresholds for what makes characters good or bad. In this game, and I will explain it as I go through this video, there's a way to summon and use your resources correctly in a way that you're not going to feel as if you're wasting anything, and you'll be able to get the most out of it. Now, why is summon resource management important? When you don't use your summon resources correctly, you're going to miss new characters. Every 2 weeks, a new character comes out and there's a rotation of one of the characters that are on the roster currently. So you were able to pick up a new character as well as one character who's on the rotation, who's part of the roster that exists in any case. It seems as if with the introduction of the new quote-unquote best girl when it comes to Domiak Stella, and not Domiak Stella, but we had Domiak Stella, but then we have Domiak Este now. This is our second premium unit. So we can see, it stands to reason that we will be getting premium units at a steady rate, possibly one after the other with a rotation every now and again. So in a situation of, let's say we get a couple premium units in a row, and then there's no premium unit on one section, they may rotate one of the previous premium units. So they may go back and rotate Domiak Stella. Then you have a chance at getting Domiak Stella again and more of a frags if you couldn't complete her the first time. Some of the strategies that are involved with managing your resources for summons is on your pickup banners, you want to pick up one copy. That's all you want to do. Between these two banners, you generally speaking want to pick up one copy and nothing else. No more, no less. As soon as you get a copy, you stop. Now, I'm going to start it off this way. If you have 0 mileage, you have to pull because you have nothing to work with. You can't just come in here, right? You have to pull. So the way it works is because your ether works on both the premium recruit banners as well as, the premium recruit banners as well as the rate up recruit banners, which is these two here. You need to manage this very, very well. How you're going to go about that is, while the premium units are essential and you're going to need those, because again, as you saw on my YouTube title thumbnail, I called it the T0 meta, and that's why I think we're going to touch on that with my predictions on future meta and things like that just later on at probably the last section of this video. But we're basically you're going to want to get your hands on as many premium units as you can, but how you do it is quite important. So for the standard radar banners, you want to grab a single copy. If you have 0 mileage, try to pull until you get one. Just choose one, choose which one you're going to, and you're going to be pulling all the way up to pity with all your ether. As crazy as that sounds, right? Because obviously you want ether so that you can actually get your premium units. However, you also want to pick up these other units here. Very, very important, right? So you want to pick up your radar units. So if you have 0 mileage, you'll summon in here. As soon as you get the unit in this banner, you're going to stop. And if you don't have the unit in the other banner, you can then switch over to the other side on the other banner and continue to summon there. The reason for that is because ideally you would want to get both of the units that come here, especially for new players. If you're a day one player, you already likely have the units that are in rotation, so roster units, you already have those, so you never have to do that. But for new players, you may want to summon in here, and if you get lucky early on, just summon in the next one. You won't get any benefit for getting one character 4 stars, 5 stars, 6 stars all at once, right? All you gain there is time farming. That's all you really gain, but it's not worth it. You would rather build up your roster than to gain the time farming, if that makes sense, right? So you want to pick up both of the characters. Once you have both of the characters, you stop. Even if you don't hit the mileage at the 200, you stop. Once you have a single copy, never ever pick up another copy of a character. As soon as you have a single copy, stop. Even if you hit the mileage, don't pick up a second copy so you can get the 4 stars. That's unnecessary. That's a waste of time. That's a waste of mileage resources. Don't do that. Now, once you've gotten your radar banner pickup units here, then you go into whatever premium banners that exist, and you start working on your premium banner mileage. Here's the difference though. While for the radar banner units, you're only going to want 1 copy and stop, for premium banner units, you want a minimum of 2 copies. So with these ones, it's a bit annoying because you actually have to pull all the way up to pity You're hoping you get lucky that you get the 4 stars. If you get 4 stars, simply pulling all the way up to the mileage recruits, you could just stop and keep the 4 stars and call it a day, especially if you got exactly 4 stars. By that I mean you got 2 copies exactly. Then you could just stop. There's no reason for you to try to get the 5 stars. The 5 star, you can try to attempt it if you notice that you got the 4 star fairly early in your race to pity, right? And you still have a lot to go, right? If you get a 3rd copy in your first 200, then you can get the 5 star character. If you're going to spend and you got 2 copies, then you can go for the 5 stars. But in any other circumstance, worst case scenario is you get no copies of the premium character all the way up to mileage. Once you get to mileage, you pick up a single copy, and unfortunately in that case you will have to keep summoning a little bit more just to try to get a 2nd copy by pulling. Now if you don't get a 2nd copy, pulling with going to your next 200, so now you're going to the 400 mark, don't get a 2nd copy through mileage. Just accept your fate, accept your defeat, and call it a day. Wait for the next premium banner while you still have the 200 mileage recruit. That the premium unless the character is absolutely broken beyond belief, just stop. Just stop. You are unlucky. It is what it is. So that's basically how it works. My Domiak Stella personally is 4 stars, for example, right? I had the worst luck in the world. Now this is 110 into the next, going to 400, right? So this is almost the 400 mark, and I didn't get another copy of her. Now this obviously is going to be pushed over so that we can grab ourselves a Domiak Este. So that's not too bad. So during Domiak Este's reign, we can go ahead and grab a copy of her. So that's going to be good. We won't be able to do it immediately, but we're going to be able to, let's say, for instance, like over here I have 152, which means I'll be able to pull so I can get a copy of this girl here, of the healer Este herself, even if it's by pulling through the mileage, and then that's a single copy, and then the other ether that I have will be used on her throughout the event to basically get her up to mileage as well, and get the single copy here as well. But obviously all the other, there's still a lot of ether that's going to be accumulated and that's going to come into the bucket, and then ideally she's going to be 4 stars. But before I pull a mileage copy, I want to see if I can pull her first and then get the mileage, so I can have her at around 4 stars, and then that's it. That's unless I get lucky. Other than that, if I'm not getting lucky, the aim is to just get 4 stars and then you call it a day. That's basically how we want to actually play the game when it comes to the summoning resources. Save as much as you can. The normal recruits, honestly, if you don't use this, it's actually pretty good. If you just let these normal tickets stack up as much as possible, I just use them whenever I get them. That's also an option as well. But if you save these up all the way as much as you can, and then use them as late as you can, or whenever you feel like, hey, listen, there's enough characters in here that you may want, that's great. Just remember, the longer you wait, the more characters they add into this banner here, and the less of a chance that you can actually pull one of the characters that you actually want, because again, the percentage is actually getting it's all 0.1% for all of them, but then now you have a bigger option or bigger pool to work with, so the chances of getting the one you might want is a lot rougher, right? So that's just something to take note when it comes to that. And that's pretty much it when it comes to the summoning aspect of things there. Now, my predictions for the future meta. The way the game is set up and the way the game is going, we're going to be moving into a T0 meta, where all our premium units are going to be very godlike. They're going to be T0 units that are absolutely insane, where our pickup or rate up units the strongest of them will probably be T1 units. So they'll be tier 1, they'll be very, very good. They'll be S tier, double S tier, things like that. While our premium units are triple S and double S tier units, right? So there'll be a lot of pickup rate up units that are very good and very solid, that could be used. However, a lot of the meta, as we carry on and as they release more premium units, a lot of them are probably going to be a lot more premium units in our teams, in our rosters, in our formations, in our RTA lineups, things like that, more than your raid up units. Now, the key thing here is that this is very, very long term. When it comes to these premium banners, this is very long term, because not everybody is going to be able to 6-star these units off the bat. A 4-star premium unit is about as equivalent as you can get to a pickup raid up unit at 6 stars. So getting them to 4 stars is so essential. That's why that's so essential, because that's going to give them minimum viability. The 6 stars makes them it basically brings out their full potential, but the 4 stars brings out their viability, right? So that's the important thing. Get as many premium units to 4 stars as you can. Some of them you're gonna get lucky on. Some of them you're going to get lucky on, and you're going to be pulling towards the mileage or whatever the case may be, and you'll pull about 3 copies. You may pull 2 copies in a single multi, and you'll be able to get them to 5 stars very quickly, right? Very, very lucky, but that's you can't rely on that. General strategy, 4 stars and keep moving. You do not want to waste your premium currency, your ether, trying to push to 6 stars of a premium unit, because as soon as that unit is done and it's gone and the next unit comes out, we're getting more diversity, more premium units, and as more premium units come out, some of the older ones are going to start feeling the pinch. So you don't want to go too deep and cripple yourself while we have more premium units coming out, and some of the older premium units starting to feel that pinch of the power creep that's inevitably going to happen. So don't overdo it. 4 stars is completely viable, and just make sure that you're able to get every single unit that comes out every 2 weeks that comes out, including all the premium units as well, as premium units tend to stick around for a little bit longer. But we'll see with Domiak Este how that goes. On some of the next week's events, we'll see how long she's around. Domiak Stella was around for about 3 months. If Este is also around for about 3 months as well, which gives them 3 months to create and design a new premium unit, and then that unit is out for 3 months as well, and it also gives them another 3 months to, you know, design and fine-tune another premium unit. That's actually a good rollout period for premium units. I think it's fantastic, where we get a new premium unit every 3 months, which is phenomenal, and it gives us a long time to actually really get our hands on a premium unit and just play with them, test them, and just really, you know, sink our teeth into them before we get the next one and making the rest of them irrelevant, for instance, right? So I think that's a really good timeline and timetable. Just don't overdo it. If you get lucky, you get lucky. If you don't overdo it, guys. So again, that's the way my predictions are. That's basically in conclusion to this video. My prediction is we are going to be moving slowly but surely, moving into a T0 meta, where only the cream of the crop of the radar banner units will be viable, especially things like RTA, but a lot of the premium units are going to be viable. There's probably going to be a system where premium units get rotated in and out, because the thing about premium units, just so to touch on it, or most of you guys should know it, but just in case beginners don't know this, the normal radar pickup units have event stories, have side stories, where, as you will know, you come in here and then you just form out their side stories, you form out their shards, and you get to build them up to 6 stars with shards alone. Premium units don't have this. So premium units, the only place that you can actually get them is through recruitment. Now, the only way that works is that we should be able to get these units to 6 star at some point, but if we can only get them through summons, that means they have to rotate these banners at some point. Now, how long they're going to take before they rotate banners, that's another story for another day. But for hyper late game, we should have the ability to 6 star these units, and it cannot be the case that we need to 6 star them through their raid pickup banner, because that would mean that anybody who starts the game after the raid up of a premium unit will never be able to get that premium unit. Does that make sense? So obviously that's really dumb and that's stupid, and they're never going to do that. So what they're going to do is they're going to rotate these premium units somehow, I'm not exactly sure how, Maybe they'll do 3 premium units, rotate 1, 3 premium units, rotate 1, 3 premium units, rotate 1, right? Something like that, right? So you get 3 different ones and then they rotate 1, right? So just then in a circle where you have a nice rotation, nice mix. Or it could be one of those where they only rotate premium units a couple times a year, once or twice a year, right? That could be one of the things, right? But that's why getting them to 4 stars to minimum viability is best. If you can get them to 6 stars, feel free. But if you're going to force your way to 6 star these characters and you're not a whale and you're not a high flying dolphin, you're going to really struggle as every 2 weeks when they release new characters, because you're going to constantly be depleted of resources and you're going to fall behind slowly but surely. Yes, you will have one premium 6 star unit, but you might miss the next one and you could only get 3 stars, and you might, right, instead of being able to, you get a 6 star, then a 3 star premium unit, then it's going to be very uneven, very unbalanced. It's not going to work out too much especially if you are very unlucky, right? It's best to just try to get 4 stars and be consistent and get every premium unit at 4 stars if you can. The ones you get lucky on, you can get 5 stars. I don't want to ramble on too much, and I feel like I have already. So that's it from me. And remember, you don't suck at the game, you just need to get good.